Hi, everyone. Thank you for inviting me to your meeting. And I'm really glad to be here. I am Martina Vazzoler from Italy, and I'm working with small and medium companies here in Italy, supporting them in the digital transformation. And because I have a focus on selling online, especially on marketplaces, and also a focus on the food. And you know that in Italy, food is a quite important topic for selling and exporting. What I would like to do today with you in these few slides that I prepare for you is just to have an overview of what we're doing now in this period, trying to getting more and more online, selling online and exporting online, because food is really important for us. It's one of the most important goods that we are selling and exporting. And we are, of course, trying to do it more and more online. So I would like to go through with you to this presentation and trying to give you some more hints to help you to understand how to do it and how you could also drive this way. So I would love to share with you the slides. I'll show you and I'll try to stay here with you. Okay, I hope this is a good place to stay. Okay. So let's go through. I'll show you what's the list of things which I would love to go through quickly with you. And one is the global digital overview. Let's go quickly through the situation. And then I would love to go deeper into the selling online food, which are the main trends, which are really important to take in consideration. And then the critical points, because of course, this is a new business and there are a few critical points which we also have to take in consideration. And then what I would love to share with you is what we did here in Italy as far as digital strategy, especially in the food exporting and selling. So I have nice Italian case study to show to you. And then last but not least, the opportunities in digital export, which are really huge and really important. So let's go through these points. First of all, the global digital overview, which you probably already know. I don't need to explain to you these slides, for example, because everyone knows that 60% of the total population in the world is, of course, using internet. Most of them are going through the mobile, and as you know, lots of people are, of course, buying online. 76%, 76.8% purchased an order online, any device last year. So it's a quite huge amount of people, and these figures, as you know, are increasing exponentially. Last but not least, your situation in Estonia, you also have a really good penetration, digital penetration, which really is the most important topic in this case. But how is it the food segment going online and doing online? Because it's a really special sector, as you know, compared to all the rest. So let's go through the main trends of selling online foods. And of course, I'm trying to show you what was the Italian experience in this case. What I could tell you is the scenery in general, what we can see now. So if we talk about B2B sector, you have to keep in mind that the B2B is running a slow and silent digital revolution. Compared to the B2C, the B2B is a bit behind, of course, because it's slow, because it has got different rules, different dynamics, and of course, to migrate to the digital world, it's a bit slowly. But nevertheless, the next 3 years, you will see this will be the most exponential increase in the selling online. And then we will see which one are the business models for this kind of e-commerce. They are different and multi-channel, you will see. And then there is supply and demand for the B2B online. Consider what buyers are looking for and consider what sellers expect in this case. Take in mind these. Last but not least, again, marketplaces, they are really an important channel. So you should be ready to orient yourself and and learn how to choose them in the next years. So digital sales as you know, it's an irreversible process. We're going faster in this case. The impact of COVID, as you know, of course, has made this sector make a jump forward by at least 5 years, which is huge, of course. It's really an important booster, this one. And online sales in food are always on rise, like plus 19% in 2020 compared to 2019. This is the situation, for example, for Italy. But in general, worldwide, 76.8% of internet users, which is more than 5 billion people, purchase an order online. So be ready, because the world is ready. The category trends for 2020. Of course, this slide is just a picture of what it was happening last year. As you know, fashion and free times and travel, for example, were stopped last year in the selling online, but all the rest were increasing, and especially among those which were increasing, food, beauty and health were the most impressive one in this case. So they were really strong. But look at these slides, which give you much more the map of what is happening. USA market, the food and the selling food online is the 8% of the total sales online for United States, which is huge, of course. Look at Germany, 12% is food in the selling online. UK market, 70% of the online sales is online, and it's food. So it's a huge market that you can approach, that you has to be ready to approach, of course. If we talk about the different business models, let's make an example about a B2B companies, for example. They can decide to sell online through distributors because they decided not to sell through their own store or their company store, for example. Let's make a great example in Italy, Barilla. They decided not to have an e-commerce or a store online. They just decided to go through distributor, marketplaces, and other stores in other distributors. But then they can also choose to have their company store, and many are doing this, of course. If they belong, or if this company belongs to a supply chain or for example, in holding, then they work in the industrial network, and then they can sell, of course, in that case, online. Or if you work with the states, then you have e-procurement, and then you can also sell online through this channel. But mainly, as you can see, this part in the left is the most developed one, especially in Italy. If we go through the consumption trends, take a look at this. It's really nice to see, and interesting to see that during lockdown in Italy, there were two main trends that you can take in consideration here. 20% of end consumer bought sustainable products and 49% healthy products. So these two trends are the most important one for the food in this period. And then another trend that you can also have a look is the how much people have meal outside or at home. And then here you can see a nice picture of how it is the behavior for people in Europe, for example. And then another interesting trend, that's always Italy in this case, but you can also see here, look at these. They were mainly buying environmental friendly products at the 22%. 15% were choosing healthy products. So this is a very important trend, which is increasing in the next years, thinking and talking about selling food online. But we also have to talk about the general critical points, because of course, who starts first and has the biggest problems, of course, has to face the problems of this kind of new business that they were developing. So there are some critical points which you have to face and also, of course, to solve. I was trying to sum up these problems or critical issues, if you want, in these few points. Of course, incidence of transport cost. This is a very important topic because food is not a very expensive, let's say, good. So this incidence of transport has an important place and has to take in consideration. Logistic solution. This is really important for food, of course. We have the 3 temperatures, and sometimes it can be that if you don't have the correct supply chain around you. You have to, it can be that you have to have for high cost for this, but it is possible, of course. You can understand Italy is 1,000 kilometers from north to south, and we are moving goods from up and down, of course, and of course we are prepared for this, and there are logistics solutions for moving goods everywhere you want, of course. And don't forget that we sell mozzarella to the United States, and mozzarella normally has got 8 days expiry date. So we are quite good at this, and it is possible, of course. And then the organicity of the offer. It's really difficult to sell online if you have just one product. At least you should have a really strong brand to do this, and you will see later. But it's really important to have an organic offer for the end consumer. Lack of competencies. Of course, we are all new in this business, so we don't have competencies. Mainly we do mistakes and then we learn what we do. But this is one point, of course, that we can work on. And then there are the risk of channel conflicts, but also these can be solved, of course, and you will see later there are a few suggestions how to do this. Another point which was kind of barrier, could be a barrier, is the integration of e-commerce platform with the existing ERP. Of course, this is a technical issue and it must be solved. And another thing which is important to take in consideration is the digital penetration of the country that you want to approach and the people attitude to buy online. These two things, of course, you have to solve with communication normally. But let's go through this digital strategy that we were applying in Italy. So I will show you some cases that we already did. Let's start for the overview on the Italian food industry. Online sales. I'm always talking about online sales. So the value of the food sector on the total e-commerce is growing, plus 90% compared to last year, 2019. And we were noticing that there are 4 recurring e-commerce models. We will see it later. And 5 defined strategies to optimize the e-commerce model, and you will see. But one point is really important, and maybe this is a key point. The traceability of the supply chain is really an added value for the end consumer and producer and distributors. Don't forget this point, because this can be the solution for many of your problems. So the 4 digital strategies are this one. You can be an espresso, for example, or I was taking some other example, Nebrasco and Cosmiti. Take a look at those website, for example. They are using these standalone products. So individual products are sold on owned sites and respond to a well-defined mental category. So this is the marketing filter in this case, because they satisfy specific needs. Then we have the own basket, like I was doing this example, Ferrarini, Alcenero, Sant'Anna. Those are some brands, really strong brands, of course, which were allowed, of course, because the brand is really strong. So these manufacturers, they developed an e-commerce where they could sell an organic offer of products to the end consumer. So it makes sense in this case. Or if you're not strong enough and you're small, like you probably are, we have some example of like Olive View, Campagna Amica, Granarolo. They are different manufacturers, and they were putting together their efforts. They pulled their products together to optimize the platform and of course the cost of the platform and the online distribution. Especially, I was just making the example, Olive View, for example. They are all olive producer, and of course they are competitor, but they decided to stay together in the same platform because they have a very good USP. And they can, of course, be competitive among competitors. So it can be possible. Don't worry. Take a look at that website. And then, of course, the grocery mix. And here I'm talking about marketplaces. As I said before, Amazon, Cortiglia. Take a look at that website. It's really interesting. And also Italy, they're really interesting. And they are doing a good job. So, of course, in this case, we have strong marketplaces. And if you are Barilla, you just decide to go there. You don't want to have your own website. You just go there in this specialized platform where there is the correct place for your products. So finally, we can find and outline 5 strategies for e-commerce model. We can talk about 5 strategies. Mental categories, they respond to specific needs. Facilitated purchases, of course, it's nice to have a repeatable and routine purchase every day. Brand value, you know that the brand is always a good asset. Of course, it's a long-term asset, but please start work on this. You will never lose money if you work on the brand. Impulse purchases, of course, it's nice if you can incentivize unplanned purchases. And product differentiation, take a look at this point. So dedicating products to and formats and packaging just to online sales. And then you can avoid the risk of conflicts, channel conflicts, of course, and you're safe in this case. I just want to go through quickly about the topic points for Italian food success in export. We were working a lot on this. I'm talking in general in Italian food export now, not just online sales, of course. If I should put out outline which one are the key points of our success, I would suggest this one. Of course, we were working a lot. Of course, this is a political task to overcoming the policies of duties and embargoes, and of course, for food, this is really important. In our specific case, of course, we have a really huge competition for fake products and imitation. This is a huge amount of money. You cannot even imagine how much. And then, of course, it's important to diversify in the markets. That's your task. And don't worry if you're small. Try to find a solution for these things. Keep in mind, in Italy, we have 94% of companies which are not small, they are micro companies, okay? 94% of the total amount of the companies in Italy are micro, which means 4 people, maximum 4 people in a company and maximum 500,000 turnover. So really small size of companies, don't worry. And how can we solve this problem? Of course, because those kind of size is really difficult to make the effort to go abroad and to sell and to export. How? We were trying to put together and make some collaboration between them, because of course you have to think about the supply chain. Don't think that you are a competitor. Try to give really a value for the end consumer, thinking about the supply chain. And then we were, of course, working a lot, and we are still working a lot for the digital transformation of the companies, investing a lot in innovation and training, which is really important. And we are doing this since lots of years. We are working on the brand image and positioning of Made in Italy food. But this is a task which has to do with the Export Institute. And then, of course, fixing infrastructural delays, which are always around the corner, of course. So last, I would love to talk to you about these quickly, really, opportunities in the digital export. Can marketplaces be a good chance? Of course they are. If you're not big enough, if you're not skilled enough for selling online, keep in mind that maybe it's a good chance to start from marketplaces. And now I will tell you quickly why. They already exist. You don't have to waste time in building your platform. They're there. Just take the chance to go there. You pay commission on sales. You don't have to spend money before starting. They have a very strong integrated marketing system, and you can learn a lot by working there. And then, of course, they are a great chance for internationalization. Keep in mind, with Amazon, you open one account in Amazon in Germany, and then from there, you can work with 8 other countries in Europe. Just one fee per month for 8 countries. So internationalization is really quick in this case. And then, of course, they offer a very good logistics service, which you normally are not able to give, of course, to the end consumer in this case. And as I used to say, it's a really good gym to learn and to understand how the sales online is working. And it will give you the good training, then to work on your stores, on your company stores just after. So keep in mind, for the online sales, there are some steps, as I call them. There is like a digital lean production also for the online sales. So there are some steps that you have to do before starting having your company store. Okay, if I should just sum up the conclusion of this presentation, really quick presentation, I would say, first point, to invest on digital infrastructure. This is really important, as I said you before, because this will enable you in selling online. Second point, which is also really important, invest in skilled human resources. And if you don't have skilled resources, just go for the digital education. Again, keep in mind, it's people which make the difference, not the machine. Like, of course, you need the infrastructure, the digital infrastructure, but then there are people who has to work on that. And third point, the most important one, don't wait a minute more. Just start, because we're ready to sell online. Okay, I hope this was a quick overview of how it is going online. I hope really that this could help you just to have a vision and to get some hints, some information, some inspiration to start with. So I thank you very much for your attention, and enjoy your upgrade. I hope to see you soon. Bye.